I'm Juliette. I'm the environmental education teacher from Martineau Gardens. I'm not at Martineau Gardens today, I'm actually in my garden, just sitting by my pond. Hopefully you can see that. Lots of bees and dragonflies flying around today. And today, as a follow-up to our dragonfly video we made the other week where we showed where they'd come out of their skins, I'm going to show you how to make some dragonfly wings that look something like this. And you can make them to wear, or you can make them as a wand that you can wave around. Okay, so you're going to need a few important things. First of all, you need some of this. You can see that? This is willow. And willow, when it's nice and damp, is nice and bendy and easy to shape and twist. You don't want the thick woody ends, you want the greener, thinner stems. It doesn't matter how long it is, the longer the better really, because you can cut it off if it's too long. And if you're not about to use it straight away, put it somewhere damp. So I've got mine actually resting in the pond to keep it nice and damp. Okay, so you will need, for your dragonfly, 4 pieces of willow, because as we know, dragonflies have 2 pairs of wings, so they have 4 wings. Okay, you can make it into a butterfly if you want to as well. It can be equally a butterfly or a dragonfly. So you need your 4 pieces and you need to shape them so that they look like this. So the way to do that is to get the bendy end, the thinnest end, don't worry about this end, the thinnest end, and you roll it round to make a dragonfly wing shape, something like that. Make sure you've got a long piece at the end, because what you need to do then is to just wind that around and around and fold it back on itself. If you want to cheat, you could put a bit of tape on, because it'll all get covered up anyway. But I'm just going to tuck that bit through there. Oops. So it should look like that. So you need to do that 4 times. So 1 and 2, and I've got another 2 down here. So the next thing you need to do is to make your pairs of wings. So the easiest way to do it is to put them and hold them together at the bottom like this, and then if you get yourself either some string, or you can cheat a little bit like me and use some of this bendy garden wire. That's very good. So use that to attach them together. So you wrap it round, cross it over, crisscross over, and wrap it round on itself at the end. Twist it round. There we go, or tie it. And you should have your wings like that. So there's 2 wings. And then, with an adult's help, you need to use some of these. These are secateurs. And you just chop off the long bits, but don't chop it right off down there. Give yourself a little bit of length for attaching them together. So chop them like that. So there's my 2, and here are my other 2 that I did earlier. And then I just need to then wrap them round again. So let's get a little bit more wire. Get a longer piece this time. Go. And you might be useful if you've got someone else to help you to hold them. And then you're going to just wrap that around the middle to attach them both together. Let's twist it round at the end. So there we go. Okay, there's my other ones that I did. These ones are actually better. Okay. So there you've got your wings, and then all you need to do is to cover up all this messy stuff in the middle and to decorate them. So, good thing to use is ribbon. So I had some, what did I find? I found some old orange Christmassy ribbon. You don't really get orange dragonflies. Now the dragonflies in my garden are red, so I got some red sort of lacy ribbon, but it can be any colour you want really, and if you wanted to be a butterfly, it could be all different colours. And then what you do is you just use that to wrap around the middle to cover it up. Okay, So if you look at these ones I did earlier, you can see it's all nicely covered up now. Okay. If you want to, you can then wrap your ribbon all the way around here, or you can go crisscross, anything you want. You could make patterns if you wanted to, but I think it looks pretty good as it is. And then, last of all, you just need to decide whether you want to be able to wear them or whether you want to have them on a wand. So, if you want to wear them, what you will need to do is to have a couple of straps. And just test the straps. Easier if someone else can help you, to check that they are going to be the right size. Okay, so all you do to make your strap is you get yourself a nice long piece of ribbon. That's a bit better, that one. A nice long piece of ribbon that you know is going to fit around. Okay, and then to do it on each side for each strap. Oh, that's coming apart. Then you tie it in the middle. You can tie it up twice. There you go, can you see that? So I've tied it and I've left these two long. Somebody being a bit noisy over there, I'm sorry. And I just use them then, I can't do it on my own, but you use them to attach it to your back. I've got some photos that I can put into the comments of some children that did this last year, because we did this as a dragonfly and butterfly family activity last year, and everybody seemed to enjoy that. So that's if you want to make the wings to wear. And if you want to make them to wave them around, then all you need is a nice big sturdy stick. And then you're just going to attach them. So I'm just going to use my straps that I used. You can just attach them to the stick, nice and tight. Okay, I might leave some bits hanging down because that'll look quite nice if I run around with them. Okay, here we go. There you go. And there are your dragonfly wings.